So you're interested in playing D&D 5th edition and making a character, but you don't know where to start. Or maybe you know what you're doing mostly, but you're in the market for a quick but thorough refresher. Whatever the reason, Dicebreaker has you covered. This is all the stuff I personally wish I'd been told about when creating a D&D character for the first time. If you find it handy, make sure to subscribe for more. Let's get into it. D&D 5th edition offers a plethora of fantastical races for you to choose from. They stem from the regular old human to the mighty and wise Loxodon, a literal elephant person? Apart from how they look and how they fit into your character ideas, their main differences lie in racial stat bonuses and abilities. Though, since the release of Monsters of the Multiverse, racial abilities are sort of arbitrary and more of a suggestion. If you think your Goliath should have a +2 to their intelligence, then just talk it over with your DM. It's all good. Your class is all about how you play your game. If you want to blend into the shadows, slip away from your enemies, and find your opponent's exact weak spot, you're probably looking at the rogue class. If you want to hit things and hit them hard, you'll probably want to play a barbarian. If you want to wield powerful magic, study all things arcana, and believe that the pen is mightier than the sword, then a wizard is probably for you. Check out what each class is about and select what intrigues you. Your stats basically show how good you are at a particular thing, and they correspond with how each class operates. Each class will have 2 stats in particular that you'll want to focus on improving. For example, a paladin needs to hit hard with their weapons, so you would want to make sure they have enough strength. But also, they need to cast spells with charisma, so that is something you should also zero in on. Another example is monks. They need to be able to hit fast and hard using dexterity, but they also need to discipline their minds using wisdom. Take a look through the class you're thinking of playing and see if it mentions the stat you will use to make spell attacks, if you have them, or see if it mentions your difficulty class and which stat will be tied to that. For example, when a monk uses Stunning Strike on an enemy, the number the enemy has to beat is 8 plus the monk's wisdom plus their proficiency bonus. Now you might be asking yourself, what is a proficiency bonus? Well, proficiency increases as your level does. It does so automatically, so you don't have to think about it. We'll dive deeper into leveling up in a different video, so stay tuned. Back to stats. Rolling stats is usually done by rolling 4 d6s and dropping the lowest number on the dice. Here I rolled a 5, a 3, another 3, and a 2. We get rid of the 2, and that makes 11. This can then be placed as one of your stats. Do this a total of 6 times and you have each of your stats ready to go. Your DM might ask you to roll it in a different way though, so keep that in mind. There's also the standard array of 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. You can pop these into your stat amounts and use those. Lastly, there's point buy, where you have 27 points to spend on stats, and they start from a value of 8 and can go no higher than 15, so you can't have 20 points in strength as a level 1 character. By the way, stats go up to a maximum of 20. Unless you have some legendary item that changes that from level 1, which you probably won't. That number between 1 and 20 tells you your ability modifier. If it's at 10, then you have a flat 0. Same if it's at 11. But when you hit 12, you get a +1. 14 is +2, all the way up to 20 being a +5. These come in handy when you're attacking and rolling checks, but you won't be doing maths all the time, I promise. For now, let's jump back into the characterization stuff. When I first started playing D&D, I thought backgrounds were just for flavor. That's true, but it's not the only reason to take a background. They also give you additional skills and proficiencies. For example, if you take the entertainer background, it gives you skill proficiencies in acrobatics and performance, tool proficiencies with a disguise kit and 1 type of musical instrument, and the following equipment: a musical instrument, one of your choice, the favor of an admirer, a love letter, a lock of hair, or a trinket, a costume, and a pouch containing 15 gold pieces. All very useful things you wouldn't automatically have without this background. Except maybe for the lock of hair, that's not super useful. Backgrounds also give you a feature that might help you in various situations. With the entertainer, their feature, by popular demand, allows them to find places to perform easily and get lodging there if it's an inn, for example, as long as they perform. This could be very handy for your party, saving them a bit of money to stay at an inn overnight. There are certain items from both your class and your background that can come in handy. Your class might offer you weapons to start off your adventure with, but also make sure to note down your background equipment because there is some wild stuff in there. The urchin background starts off their adventure with a pet mouse. Now, this isn't technical in terms of your character creation, but it's me giving you a little nudge. Create a backstory and share it with your DM. If they're worth their salt, they will likely take inspiration from your backstory and work it into the world. For example, my noble bard had an arranged marriage that I ran away from, and 2 younger siblings and parents that I also ran away from. So when my DM said that my younger sister had stepped in to take my place and was in the miserable marriage I'd skipped out on, I was slightly upset. It made for great character development, but my god, oh my god. Okay, so alignments are tricky. But what I'm going to say to start here is that I barely know anyone who actively uses alignments in their gameplay. Sometimes, very rarely, they will be used in like a spell effect. Those who fail the save and have an evil alignment are cursed, or something like that. But other than that, don't let alignments define your character. If you do want to use them, they work like this. They are split into good, neutral, and evil, and then further split into lawful, chaotic, and neutral again. Here's a quick breakdown. Lawful good. They have a sense of duty and honor, but can veer from that occasionally if it makes sense. Neutral good. They act altruistically and enjoy peace. They will bend the rules to bring about good. Chaotic good. They have a disdain for bureaucracy that interferes with their sense of good. They will do whatever it takes to make a positive change despite any laws in the way. Lawful neutral. They like the rules and tradition and discipline and rarely veer from that. True neutral. They don't lean towards any alignment and will go with things purely on their gut. They're kind of unpredictable. Chaotic neutral. They live for chaos and will disrupt the party's plans frequently. Lawful evil. They exploit the system to get what they want. Think of a corrupt official or a lawyer who is very good with loopholes to others' detriment. Neutral evil. They are selfish and won't hesitate to take down anyone who gets in the way of what they want. However, they don't kill without purpose. Chaotic evil. They don't have a code or any rules of their own to follow. They will act terribly even if it doesn't personally benefit them. I hope that helped. If you want to have an alignment, that's okay, just be aware that it might hinder your gameplay as much as help it. Filling these in can be helpful if you're struggling to find your character, but once again, they aren't totally necessary. Personality traits are what they sound like. Let's use my bard again as an example. I use flirting as a front in conversation so people don't see the real me. Ideals are an idea that your character holds in the highest regard, something that guides them and drives them, like, I will prove that I'm worth more than just my family name. Flaws are negative traits that your character possesses, like, my looks are the most important thing about me, I believe that no one will like me when my looks fade. And your bonds are relationships to specific people or communities, like, my best friend is a tiny lizard person who mostly sits on my shoulder and is very stinky. It's worth saying that I came up with these for this video as an example because I know my character quite well by playing her for a while. So feel free to fill these out if you really want to. This is something I tend to leave until last when I have my character fully formed in my head. You can go wild with this. Stick to stuff that's specific to your race if you want to, but don't let it hold you back. Do whatever makes your character fun to play. That was Dicebreaker's quick beginner's guide on D&D 5e character creation. If I missed anything, why don't you pop a quick explanation in the comments to help welcome any viewers who are new to the game. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos explaining how to play your character, combat, and leveling up. And share this with someone who needs it. You can visit dicebreaker.com for tabletop articles, and you can hit the join button below for more videos from us that aren't always tabletop. Most importantly though, have a lovely day.